Hello, today we're going to be learning about the law of supply. We're going to draw a supply curve and see how price and quantity vary based on fluctuations in supply. The purpose of today's tutorial is to give you the goal here is to give you a visual derivation of the law of supply. We're not here today to do a lot of numerical analysis. So what you will not see, except for this moment right here, today is a calculator. You don't need a calculator today. All you need is, like so many other videos, just a straight edge, your ruler. And for this tutorial, you'll need a pencil or a pen, and either colored pens or colored pencils. They just help make things, kind of come to life a little bit with the analysis that we'll be doing. But simple instruments, oh, well, let's get right to it. Let's wipe away what we have here and get to a clean working surface. Ah, that's nice and clean there. All right. Supply is different than demand. If you're watching this video, you've likely already watched a video about supply, or rather demand, and so you're probably wondering, well, what is the difference between supply and demand? Well, the only way to show it really is to draw it. So what we're going to do is construct a price and quantity coordinate plane. This is not drawn to scale. It's really just freehand, and remember to include your axis marks on the y-axis, which you would call the vertical axis. We want to put price, so this will be P, right, for price. And I'll switch to pen here. I see it showing up somewhat poorly. So P is for price. And then on the x-axis, we want to put quantity, or Q for quantity, which we will abbreviate, go on. But price and quantity, always remember to label the origin point. And now I'm going to, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, draw a supply curve. Ready? Here we go. There's a supply curve. I have now drawn a supply curve. And now you know how to draw a supply curve. It is an upward sloping curve. So that's the key. It's upward sloping. And it also does not start at the origin. That's important. You need to connect your supply curve to the price axis somewhere north of the origin point. So a couple of basic things. What we can do is, if we suppose a price, we'll call this P sub 1 right here, and we suppose a quantity, well, we'll find out. So if we suppose a price sub 1 right here, how would we evaluate what the quantity supplied would be at that price? Well, all you need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is take a straight edge and follow this price out to the supply curve with dotted lines until you hit the supply curve. And now it's time to rotate your straight edge, and I'm going to switch colors here to make this stand out. Drop a vertical line down to the quantity axis, and this is going to be Q sub 1, or quantity supplied. We'll call it Q sub S sub 1. Quantity supplied 1. Now let's see what happens when we increase the price. So let's arbitrarily increase the price to P sub 2. And we're really just going to follow the logic of the graph. Same thing, I'm going to place my straight edge at P sub 2 and just follow it out to the supply curve. Remember, this is not a numerical tutorial, this is a visual tutorial. This is an introductory tutorial just so you see how price and quantity supplied interrelate. All right, so now I'm going to drop my quantity vertical down to the quantity axis, and I'll call this quantity supplied to. Now, what do we notice? Price increased from P sub 1 to P sub 2, and quantity supplied increased. So we see a positive correlation between price and quantity. When price goes up, quantity supplied goes up. Let's see what happens when price goes down. Let's make price go down to P sub 3. Put this right here. And just take it out to the supply curve. And then drop your quantity vertical. And we'll call this quantity supplied 3. Now, what do we observe? We see that price dropped, and we see that quantity supplied also dropped. So once again, even though both went down, that's a positive correlation. So price and quantity are positively correlated. Now here's how we can express that. We can say price goes up, quantity supplied goes up. When price goes down, quantity supplied goes down. So the law of supply, very simply stated, this is the law of supply. The law of supply is that price and quantity supplied are proportionally related. You might have a different way of saying the same thing, but that is different than the law of demand, which we said was an inverse relationship. Well, this is a proportional relationship. Whatever direction price goes, quantity supplied is going to go the same direction. And that is the end of part 1 of supply theory. Try this for yourself at home. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. Otherwise, until next time, please like and subscribe. Thank you for your attention.